What's up, y'all? Thank y'all again for tuning in to Rose Sports Talk. It's your boy Q. I know it's been a while. I've been trying to get it, be consistent with me, but it's hard, man. It's hard, man. We got regular life schedules, you know what I'm saying? But we back this week, man. There's a lot of topics we gotta get to, man. The draft, the NBA rumors with the trades, and all the good stuff, man. But before y'all, tune in fully, make sure y'all subscribe, like, and share, man. To the cousin, friend, auntie, brother, sister, whoever, man. We trying to go global with this, man. But we can't do it without y'all, man. But we're gonna get right into it. The first topic, is the NBA draft. It was a lot of good picks that was in the draft. And a lot of teams needed some needed some help so far as building through the draft. For instance, the team who had the number one pick overall, the Spurs, they needed another big time player, or a player that could potentially be that for them. They've been down the last 3 or 4 years, and that's not usual for the Spurs organization. So they needed a top player out of this draft to get them to where they wanted to be. And with that first pick, they got Victor Wembanyama, if I said it right. It was considered to be a real high top draft pick, and he was, of course, him going number one. But a lot of people, think, he could be better than KD, LeBron, if he reaches potential. But, it's still early. He young, and he has a real tall frame. And usually, guys that come in the NBA that has that tall frame has, trouble with injuries and stuff like that. So it's gonna be big to see how much he take care of his body. Also, how he made that transition from the FIBA league, or the overseas league, to the NBA. And like I say, from the highlights or films I've seen, he's a great player. He could be an unstoppable player, but you gotta be able to make that transition. In the NBA, it's the hard transition, or any pro league. Coming from overseas to the U.S. league, it's a different thing. But you gotta be accustomed to it, make the adjustments you need to make sure you can survive in the league. But I think it was a great pick overall. I think he's gonna fit well on the Pop. Pop will have him ready come regular season time. He's gonna play in this. I want to say he's gonna play in the summer league. So it's gonna be good to see for him to get those kinks out that he needs to get out so far as for the NBA game. Second pick, Charlotte took Brandon Miller. I think it was a good pick, but Charlotte haven't really been showing anything. Even them having LaMelo Ball, and I would say he haven't been consistent either, to where he could put them Hornets in a position to be great. But there was a good pick as well. I think they got another player that can go with what's his name? I can't think his name right now, but I want to say he played power forward for him. I think he goes well with Brandon Miller. Goes well with him at the 3. And then, like I said, they still got LaMelo Ball, but they still young. They don't really have a veteran leader like that. So it's gonna be interesting to see how the season turn out. But eventually these high picks got to generate for them, man. If they wanna start making a push for the playoffs, or be consistent on making the playoffs. The third pick, the Blazers took Scoot Henderson, another player that was going back and forth between him and Victor, who's gonna be the number one pick. He's from the highlights I've seen, he's a great player, aggressive player, know how to score efficiently. somebody that can help Damian Lillard, but the question still remains, is Lillard gonna stay, or is he gonna try to ask for a trade, or they just gonna try to use Scoot to build around Dame? But either way, it was a good pick. They need another top tier player to play with Dame to kind of get them back to where they need to be, which is making the playoffs. Forward, the Rockets took Thompson, back-to-back picks with the Rockets and the Pistons. They took the twin brothers, Thompson and Shore Thompson. That's the first time I want to say that two brothers or twins went in the top 5 or went back-to-back picks in the NBA draft. So that's a big accomplishment for them and their family. But with the Rockets, with Thompson, they needed another player to go with that young core that could probably start to generate maybe another year or two to where they can start being a contender. They still got Jalen Green. I want to say they still got Kevin Porter as well. So they still trying to build. They also got a new coach. So it's going to be interesting to see how fast he can try to build those young players together. And then with the Pistons, they need another player to go with, their solid core. I don't want to say they're great, but because they another young team as well. With Cunningham, Jaden Ivey. So yeah, they still young, but like I said, in another year or two, and then Monty Williams is the new coach for the Pistons. So they might generate well, to where he can get them fast-paced, gym together, and they can start at least trying to push to be in the play-in rather than like I said, when they signed Monty Williams, I think he can get them in the playoffs. I ain't gonna say they'll do great in the playoffs or they're gonna be a top seed in the playoffs, but I think he can get them at least in that play-in to where they can fight for a playoff spot. The Magic, they took Anthony Black, which I want to say is another guard. They already got a lot of guards or a lot of people that can handle the ball, but we'll just see how that transpired. I didn't really see too much of him in college or even in the tournament. But I think it's could be a good fit for him, depending on how fast he could pick up their system. Another good pick, I would say, would be Casey Wallace for the Mavericks. They needed another guard. Since the departure of Jalen Brunson, they haven't really had somebody to replace his facilitation and scoring at the point guard position. So that was good for them to grab somebody in that manner. I want to say he's been compared to John Wall and all the other Kentucky point guards. But it's gonna be interesting to see how fast he starts or he gets into the starting lineup. I think it's gonna be key if they expect to get back to those playoff runs that they were trying to get to. Or he may have to play behind Kyrie if they re-sign Kyrie, but I don't think Kyrie coming back, to be honest. The Magic had another pick in the first round, which they got Jet Howard, Jawan Howard's son. He was pretty good at Michigan. I watched him a little bit. He improved each year he was there, but we just have to see if he could play as good as his dad or at least half of what his dad was in the league. Another good pick. I want to say Grady Dick from Kansas. He was real good, especially on the championship team. He was a real solid player. I think the Raptors go love him out there, and he's from Toronto, so it's gonna be big, man. You seen him trying to be iced out, trying to show out for Drake, man. But I think he's gonna be a great player for him. Another good pick, which I was glad to see, was my boy Jamie Jaquez from UCLA. I think he's gonna be a dog for the Heat. He was a dog for UCLA. You know what I mean? All 4 years he was there. I just said we couldn't get a championship out of him. You know what I mean? Because we made to I want to say 2 Final Fours and two Sweet 16 years while he was there. But I can't wait to see him play with him. I hope he fit in well with the Heat. If not, sure, hopefully he go somewhere else that he could get more playing time and be helpful to a team. I mean, for me, that's pretty much what stood out for me. Like I say, those was pretty much some decent pieces. A lot of other good picks, but most of those players I didn't really see in college like that. So yeah, man, that's our thoughts about the NBA draft, man. Y'all comment below, man. Tell me what y'all think, or who y'all think is gonna be Rookie of the Year this year. Was it gonna be Victor? Is it gonna be Scoot Henderson, or possibly Chris Murray from Iowa? Comment below, man. Tell me who y'all think is gonna be Rookie of the Year this year. All right. Next topic, which is, should the Pelicans trade Zion Williamson? And I mean, there was a lot of trade rumors before the draft that the Pelicans might try to trade him to try to get a higher pick, or get more picks, or even just get a good collateral with the trade. But they didn't make the trade because I guess they feel like we could give him at least another year to show us what he got or what he can do for the team. But to me, I mean, like me and B been saying, he really been robbing the Pelicans, man. He stealing money because he ain't played. I don't want to say he haven't played a full season since he's been with the Pelicans. Only thing he played half of a season, so it's hard to kind of put a number or a figure of what he's going to do this season, because you don't know if he's going to play the whole season or even play this season, period. And then the off the field issues with the girls he was messing with or whatever, the porn star, whatever, But I feel like that was his business, and it shouldn't be in the sports world. But hey, the girl put it out. But if he wants to show that he's their franchise player, he gonna have to show them something this season coming up, man. Whether it's playing a full season, giving his all, playing through injuries. Because I mean, like I said, to me, I feel like they should, if they want to, get to where they want to be. I feel like they should just go ahead and trade him, let somebody else deal with all the injuries and the issues that's going on off the court. But I feel like when he's healthy, he's a great player. I just don't understand why he haven't been playing like that. You know what I mean? I don't know if he's not taking care of his body, or it's the trainers that's not helping him take care of his body. I don't know, but I think he could be a real dominant player, because the games he's played, or the games he's been in, he has been dominant. And helped them to a lot of wins when he's playing and healthy. But when he's not, it's kind of hurting the team. As you can see, they was in the play-in tournament again this year, which I figured when they got McCollum, that was gonna boost the team, with him and with them already having Zion and Ingram, that was gonna push them to where they wanted to be. So it's go, like I say, if he wants to prove that he belongs in their organization, or he could be that franchise player, he has to show up this season. I think if he, has another injury, he missed a lot of games, I won't be surprised if they try to trade him mid-season, and try to just go ahead and try to rebuild around, build around McCollum and Ingram while they're still, in their prime, or in their good years. Now, if they do trade him, I think he'll be a good fit with a team like the Hawks, the Grizzlies. What's another one? that'll be a good fit for him. What's another one? Charlotte. With him in the middle of the ball, that could be dangerous. Let me see who else. Maybe Boston. Well, no, they got Porzingis now, so I think excuse me. I think those teams will be a good fit for him, so he can help them get over the hump of being a real playoff contender. I'm trying to think of another team that he probably could be a good fit as well. Shoot, even the Lakers, they could use him. With him, AD, well, no, that's gonna be hard because I think he already considered play the four, so that's gonna be hard with the Lakers or the Clippers, I should say. The Clippers could definitely use somebody like him with Kawhi and PG if they still stay together. But it's gonna be interesting to see what turns out this season for him or his fate this NBA season. That's our thoughts on should the Pelicans trade Zion Williamson. But y'all comment below, man. Tell me, tell us who y'all, who they should make the trade with, or should they trade him at all, or should they just stick it out with him another year? Give him this, this how can you put it? This 1 year deal almost in a way to where he showed them, showcase them that hey, he's a franchise player. Y'all comment below, man. Tell me what y'all think. All right. Our next topic, which is topic 3, which is will Victor make the Spurs legit contenders again? And I asked this question because, by him being this highly talked about prospect, and like I say, they, saying with his size and frame and how he can handle the ball, he can shoot. Could he, put them in a position right away as being, playoff contenders again? I don't think it's gonna be as fast as a lot of people think. I think most people think, in year 1 they probably could make the playoffs, but I think for me it's gonna be by year 2. By his second year, I think they'll start making the push to being a playoff contender. But Pop is a great coach, so I won't be surprised if they do somehow even make the play-in this year to or next year to get in the playoffs. I won't be surprised at all, but they still gonna need some pieces to build around them. I haven't seen too much of their point guard play or the shooting guard, so like I said, it's gonna be, to me, it's still gonna be a lot of work within the first year to get them where they need to be. But you do have free agency coming up with a lot of top, free agents coming out, and then there've been a lot of players that have been declining their options, the player options, to become a free agent. So it's gonna be interesting to see, what the Spurs can generate through free agency, or even just through trades. They can build a team to where they want to be. But like I said, I think he could be a real good superstar in the league. But like I said, for me, it's gonna be the key factor for me is can he stay healthy. Like I said, a lot of times with these big, tall players, and they're not really, structured to, or their body not structured to really hold up a lot of, the grind and the weight of the NBA game or the schedule. It can kind of wear down their body early on, but I think, like I say, with him and to get a couple more pieces around him, I ain't gonna say superstars, but players, good solid role players that could feed off him, or that he can feed off of. They, I think they could be right back in the playoff contention in year 2 of his career. And then, like I say, it's also to me, because I know Pop is getting older as well. We just have to see if he, will withstand of being the coach, within that time frame of, trying to get him to that point. But like I say, he's a great coach, man. One of the top coaches ever. So I know he got something in the bag to where, he go generate some players around him and put him in that spot to where they can, be in the playoffs. And then in the conference that they're in, hold on a second. And then the conference they're in, you got the Grizzlies and the Mavericks that they have to worry about. Like the Pelicans and the Rockets, they're not, those top 10 teams. So for me, in the conference or the division, they have to worry about the Mavericks and the Grizzlies. Now the Grizzlies may be on the fall at the beginning of the season because of John Morant being suspended the first 25 games. And it'll be interesting to see how they, do in those 25 games. And then with the Mavericks, they still got Luka, but they still looking for that second and third player they could put around Luka to help them get back to where they were, which was the Western Conference Finals last year. So not to say they can't win the division or even just compete in the division, but I just think it's gonna take another year for them to get to where they need to be. And somebody like James Harden, if he was to opt out from the Sixers, would be a good player for them to pick up to go with him. I'm trying to think who else. Fred VanVleet. Who else? That's probably gonna be looking for a team. I think them bringing back Bruce Bowen can help defense well coming off the bench. Who else? There are quite a few other free agents, man. I think that could, help them get to that playoff contention. But overall, I think he's gonna get him as a playoff contender. But like I said, I think it's gonna be year 2. I don't think year 1 they make the playoffs. But hey, you never know with Popovich, man. He's a great coach. But that's our thoughts on Victor I can't never say his name, but Wemby, helping the Spurs become playoff contenders. Comment below, man. Tell me, tell us, do y'all think, he could do it in year 1, take them to the playoffs, or do you think it's gonna be year 2 or later, before they actually gel to be the playoff contenders that, they want to be. Our next topic is, where should D-Hop and Dalvin Cook go next? And I came on this topic because at first, a lot of people was going off of what Dalvin Cook was saying so far as, him and D-Hop could, join forces together to join the team. And which would have been, pretty decent to see. But I kind of figured it probably wouldn't happen that way because it was only a certain amount of teams that was looking for just them, not them as a duo. But it would have been nice, to see them play together, maybe, in a Miami uniform or a Bills uniform. Dalvin Cook, brother James Cook, who used to play for Georgia, former Bulldog, national champion. Just want to throw that out. Plays with the Bills, and the Bills need a receiver. You can go the Chiefs, with both of them. The Chiefs still need another receiver, and the Chiefs haven't had a real solid running back since Mahomes been there. So I think that'll be great with them as well. But it don't seem like it's going to transpire that way. But for now, I think both of them is going to be patient. Don't rush before training camp to sign with the team. But for me, I think D-Hop, I think he may be looking to either go to the Patriots or the Bills. I think the Bills could really use him, and I feel like they could help him, or he can help them, get over that hump to get to the Super Bowl. Which a lot of people had them going to the Super Bowl last year, but they just couldn't get it done. And then Also, the Patriots, they need other receivers as well. Which they really don't spend a lot of money on receivers. I guess Belichick feel like they're not a. It kind of can be a liability depending on what type of player he can become or be with the team. But I think he'll be a good fit there as well. I won't say he would get the same amount of passes as he got, in the previous years, but he'll still be a good fit for him. Let's see what else. The Chiefs is another great place for him because, like I said, they need a receiver, and who don't want to play with Mahomes? I'm just putting it out there. A lot of people said the Jets, but I don't think they're gonna pick him up because of I feel like they feel like they got their core with Garrett Wilson. They traded Elijah Moore. I saw that, but they still got I want to say no, I don't think they got Corey Davis. So he might be a good fit for them. I was trying to think of the other receivers they got. They still got Denzel Mims, but I think he asked for a trade as well, just like Elijah Moore. They just haven't found a trade partner. So yeah, he could work with Aaron Rodgers. Who won't want to play with Aaron Rodgers, even though Aaron Rodgers is at the tail end of his career almost. But a lot of GMs have hype about him being the quarterback and thinking that he can help them get to a Super Bowl before his career is over. Let me see. I'm gonna throw one more team out there that'd be a good fit for D-Hop. I would say the Steelers. I think they need another receiver to their receiver corps. Even though they bring back George Pickens, he had a pretty good, solid, rookie year. But I know he's gonna be looking to make a great jump in year 2. But outside of him, I don't go in. They got Dante Johnson, but to me, he's more of a slot receiver than an outside. Not to say he can't play outside, but he's more of a slot to me. I think D-Hop could, with them two and him, I think, Pickett has some nice weapons to throw the ball to. And then, with Dalvin Cook on his side, I know Miami was looking at him. Who else? What was another team? I forgot the other team that was looking at him, but I think, I feel like anywhere he goes is going to be a good fit. Like I said, Miami is out there, even though, McDaniels came with a crazy little explanation on why they probably won't be signing them. But, I guess that's tampering in a sense, or he was trying to avoid it. But Miami is one place. Another place I could see is probably, what's that I just said? The Cowboys, they just lost Ezekiel Elliott. He could go there. The Bills, I feel like they could use another running back, even though they don't really run the ball that much. But, to have him and his brother on the team again, I think that'll be fun. What else? You could say Washington. They need a quarterback. Not a quarterback, I'm sorry, a running back. Who else? Trying to think. The Bengals, because they don't know the fate of Mixon right now to start the season. I think he was in domestic case or situation, so they could use him. Who else? Throw one more team out there. I did say Detroit, but they did draft Gibbs, so they probably looking for somebody that with more power than speed. Let me see. The Bears could use him, even though they running back room is kind of loaded, but I think he can stand out a little more than everybody else to be a great fit with Justin Fields. I really just want to say that's about it that I can think of that could really, where he can rank or push them over the top at running back. Yeah, that's all I can think of. Then, or maybe LA, where he can go play with Cam Akers, who came after he left Florida State. So yeah, man, it's some teams out there that could use both of those guys, but it's gonna be interesting to see where they end up, because it's definitely gonna be a money situation where they want a decent amount of money. I just don't really see them going for a 1-year deal. Maybe D-Hop, but I know Dalvin definitely wants to still get his money. But yeah, I mean, I think those are teams that we can look out for to try to make a push to sign them. Excuse me, like I said, much closer to training camp or at least during the preseason. Y'all comment below, man. Tell me where y'all think they're going to end up. Do you think they're going to end up as a duo with another team, or do you think that they just go and pick or be on a different team, but possibly see each other, in the playoffs? That'll be interesting as well. But y'all comment below, man. Tell us, what y'all think where they may go. And we here. You know what time it is, man. You know what time it is, man. Top 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Our top 5 session, man. This time we got the top 5. Our top 5 NBA draft classes of all time. And like I said, with the NBA draft happening last week, it had to bring, talk about, or we had to talk about our favorite classes of all time. So my first one, I got the 96 class. You had Kobe in that class, Ray Allen, Steve Nash, Allen Iverson, Marcus Camby. The list go on, man. There was a lot of great players in that draft. Some didn't get a chance to win championships like Kobe, but there was some great all-star players, man. And some of them came close, to win the championship. They just couldn't get the job done, or they didn't have a team around them to get the job done. My next one, which is the 1984 class. I know a lot of y'all were like, well, you ain't born yet. So what? The players that was in that class was good too. Of course, MJ, that's the real reason why I put her in there. MJ, was the top dog in that class. They got John Stockton, Hakeem Olajuwon, who also won 2 titles in the 90s. Even though most people say, if Jordan did retire, he probably wouldn't have them titles, but hey, he got them. You know what I mean? You got Sam Perkins and Otis Thorpe, who was a pretty good, solid player. He wasn't a top tier player, but he was pretty good. 3, I got the 2003 class, which had LeBron, D Wade, Chris Bosh, Cal Korver, Carmelo Anthony, David West, and a few other good players that came out of that class, man. But the top dog in that class is LeBron. D Wade was able to get 3 titles, so you right up under LeBron in that class. But hey, if you got 5, would you think it'd be better than LeBron? I'm just saying, But that was a good class as well. My 4th one, I got the 1987 class. We had David Robinson, Reggie Miller, Scottie Pippen, Horace Grant, Kevin Johnson, and Mark Jackson. Those were good players, man. I think the top dog in that class probably would be David Robinson. He ended up, I want to say, with either 2 or 3 titles. Everybody, well, no, I take that back. Scottie Pippen, he got 6 titles. He got 6 championships, with the Bulls. So I say he'd be the top dog, but David Robinson would probably be under that. Reggie Miller went down as one of the greatest shooters ever out of that class. Mark Jackson was a great facilitator. That was good in the 6th game. And then Horace Grant, I think, managed to get maybe 1 or 2 titles from the Bulls during the 90s. So, that was a good class as well. And then 5, we got the 1998 draft class, which had Dirk Nowitzki, Paul Pierce, Vince Carter, Rashard Lewis, Mike Bibby, Cuttino Mobley, and Anton Jameson. All those players were all-stars. And you have some great shooters as well, especially with Dirk, Paul Pierce, and Rashard Lewis. Like, there was some top tier shooters. And then you had athletic guy, Vince Carter, that was known for dunking. Won a couple of dunk contests during his tenure. So, that was a good draft class to me as well, man. Once again, man, that's our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Our top 5 NBA draft classes of all time, man. Y'all comment below, man. Tell us what y'all think, or give us y'all top 5 NBA draft classes of all time, man. Is it the 03 class, 96, 87, 84, or before that time with the Magic or Larry Bird? You know what I'm saying? Y'all comment below, man. Tell us what y'all think, man. But once again, thank y'all for tuning in, man. Like I said, man, we've been trying to keep this going, you know what I mean, every week, man, but it'd be hard with our scheduling, man. But hey, we're gonna get it to y'all no matter what, man. Give our thoughts, on the hottest topics of the week, man. But also, hey, like I say, been saying, football season approaching, man. We coaching over at Grove Park, man. If y'all need a home, family-oriented home, man, where to go develop the kids the way it's supposed to be, teach them, not only the wins, but the losses as well, man. Bring them over us, man. You know what I'm saying? And then also, we're looking to try to come out with some merch, man. Some before the end of the year is out, man. We working, man. Just trying to find the right person, man. So if y'all know somebody to go to, a great person to go to for for creation of merchandise or whatever, point them out to us, and we'll hit them up, man. But until next time, peace.